Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rewatchers Council. Snark here. Glad that you joined us with us, Mister Ferris Mathana. Ferris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Rob. How are you?
Are you trying to fight me? What was that about? I was introducing you as a friend.
No. I'm happy. I'm shaking with excitement.
Oh my goodness. Uh, we're gonna be talking about
Someone,
Doppelgangland.
someone wanted to fight somebody in this episode.
Whoa, jeez. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about Doppelgangland in a minute. First, of course, it's our first episode we've recorded. Actually, we're doing it live, but the first one we recorded since we heard about Michelle Trachtenberg's untimely death, which of time of recording just happened yesterday. Incredibly sad. Just 39 years old. Of course, she was Dawn in the show. You haven't made it to Dawn. You haven't watched the series yet, Ferris. So, uh, yeah, getting to Dawn's episode starting in season 5 is going to be maybe feel a little different for you than it will for me, I would think.
Hmm.
But you know Dawn from other things. You know Michelle Trachtenberg. Let's say I should say her name.
Yeah, Michelle
Michelle.
Trachtenberg. Yes.
You know her from things other than just Buffy.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, she was in the Disney Channel original movie. Shout out to the Ice Princess. It was her and Kim Cattrall. That's how I know about Kim Cattrall. I don't know Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City. I know her as that. I think she played her mother or her coach in Ice Princess. I did watch certain episodes of Gossip Girl, so I did watch her in that. She has the iconic line about being, I think, being Jesus. I think, or
What?
like God, like she like cusses out, and Leighton Messer says God wouldn't like that. Well, and then she's like, well, tell God. I don't know. It's something iconic.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I don't.
So iconic. You can't even remember what it
No,
was.
because I'm kind of flustered because it's 30. She was 39, and it's
A liver transplant, and then it seems like her body rejected it eventually.
probably. Yeah,
Terrible, terrible news.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, Dawn is going to be a character a lot of people always gave a lot of crap to, but Michelle Trachtenberg was an actress. She
Mhm.
was told to say some lines, and she did. And she did to the best of her ability. You know, I'm not a huge child acting fan, but I never had a problem with Michelle Trachtenberg's acting abilities on the show. I thought she brought something else to the show, and it's one of those things where eventually they bring in younger people because they think the show's lagging, and I didn't think it was at the time. I'm thinking of shows like Family Ties when they brought in like Brian Bonsall and stuff like that later on.
Mhm.
But and I think she did as good a job as she was written for, maybe even elevated the role. Uh, yeah, it's just a terrible thing of news. And when Adelia sent that to me yesterday, in full shock, I just honestly that wasn't it's not right. It's not right for someone so young to go like that. So terrible. And with the news of the revamp coming up, get it
Mhm.
revamp. Uh,
Is it a revamp or a sequel series?
well, it's not a sequel, as it'll be about Buffy somehow still. So I think it's just a
I'm very
continuation.
yeah. It's like so it's a sequel. If it's a continuation, it's a sequel.
If it's a sequel, it'd be based on somebody else.
No, that's a spinoff.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with you. I'm gonna go with
you know,
you.
because Angel's a spinoff.
Yeah.
Sequels are like are like direct from the like the Godfather 2. It's all the same
Mm.
characters, and the main character is still the main character. If we went from
I,
Godfather to let's do a movie about Clemente. You know what I mean? It's all about him.
yeah.
That's a spin-off. But it stayed, so they're just using different words for sequel. Because
Okay.
the word sequel is kind of like gotten like a bad taste because people don't want to, people don't want sequel stuff anymore because 9 times out of 10 the
So
sequel
the
is not
first,
as good as.
so you mentioned like The Godfather 2, like widely considered the greatest sequel.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like 9 times out of 10, sequel usually worse than the first one, except in the Godfather's case. Some people say number two is better. Then number one, depending on who you speak to. Depending on who you speak to. Some people don't agree. Some people do agree. But yeah, yeah. That's the 10th time it was correct. Shout out to you for Coppola. By the way, from San Francisco.
Wow. Who do we got from Winnipeg? Oh, Guy Madden. We got Guy Madden. Guy Madden is our is Winnipeg's Coppola. So there you go.
Hey man,
Uh,
shout out to Canada, man. Canada be making some good shows, man. You know, I watched a show called Sky Med and Nurses. They're based in Canada. They're pretty good.
yeah. I still haven't seen it. I know I put it on my watch list though, Ferris. I found it's on Paramount up here now, so I can eventually watch it. So there you go.
By the way, I was wrong. He's from Detroit. He just lived in San Francisco when he made The Godfather. I apologize.
I'm going to call the police. I
Yeah,
am going
sorry.
to have you
Sorry.
will be arrested tonight.
Yeah, my apologies.
This may be your final time on the show for a while,
I'm
so
sorry.
everybody say goodbye to Ferris for a bit. Anyways, of course, rest in peace to Michelle. Hearts, of course, go out to her family, her friends. Unimaginable what they're going through, and it's really too bad. But we're going to continue on with our rewatch here. Going to talk about Doppelgangland, Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
Original air date, February 23rd. I put down for some reason in my notes 89. I know 100% is for 1999, so there you go. This one's written, directed by the showrunner. Now, the number one movie in the United States of America. I know you've been waiting for this. The anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
It's Payback again.
Yes.
1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on. Payback. Number
Mm-hmm.
one movie, reclaiming its throne. The number one song in the U.S. still "Angel of Mine" by Brandy. The number one song in the U.K. "Fly Away" by Lenny Kravitz.
Yo, I love that song.
That's great. It's
Dun,
great.
dun, 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 dun. Oh, I can't sing it. Sorry.
You should try. You should try. I think we're gonna get we could get flagged for it, but maybe Lenny would understand.
Mhm.
Now, the number one song in Canada, "Believe" by Cher.
Of course.
Yeah, yes, it's not a great week.
You know what's crazy, man? I've never ever I know she had her thing with Sonny and Cher.
Sure. They were as they were married. Sure, they
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah.
and an entire show, an entire TV show.
I've never listened to the Sonny and Cher version of Cher. I need to start,
You never heard "I Got You, Babe" in your life. You've never seen Groundhog Day.
I've never seen Groundhog Day. No,
What?
no, sorry.
I have to remember the age. Have to remember the age.
Yo, we should, I should bring back first time watches with Ferris to watch that.
Yeah, 100%. That should be the first. Yeah, well, it's too late. You have to wait a year now.
Yeah,
The time was going to be a couple of weeks ago. That's when
yeah.
you should have done it. Okay.
Tony Phil.
Yeah, well, you know all about it.
Yeah, he's a fraud, by the way.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I'm just reading some of the comments. I actually can't highlight the comments,
I got
but
you.
I see.
You try.
Ryan says he believed back then, which is terrible. Which is terrible.
Yeah,
It's a terrible
I
thing to
believe
know.
back then. Yeah. Shout out to
Ryan
Blackfire
Christensen.
Studios. First time seeing Blackfire Studios in the chat.
Yeah,
Shout out to you. So he says, "Classic Snark Show, gonna start late."
Me.
Former co-host who was also always late.
Yeah,
Yo, is that Daniel?
I was there. Hold
Yeah.
on. For some reason, got kicked out of my computer. I can still hear you. Hopefully, I'm
Right.
still on the thing. I'm gonna try.
No,
to
you're
join
still on
it.
the thing. You're still on the thing. Oh,
There we go.
Rob's
There
back.
we go.
Rob's
There
back.
we go. I had no idea what was going on there. Okay.
Amelia, wait a minute. You've never heard "I Got You, Babe"?
Yeah, this is a tragedy.
And then Blackfire says, "I've definitely heard the "I Got You, Babe," but I had no idea who Sonny is."
Sonny, a former United States congressman as well.
What?
Yeah.
They just be giving that out to anybody because they Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota.
Sure. I think he may have been a Republican congressman out of California, if I remember right.
Yeah, well, yeah, the southern part of California, it's very Republican.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna get
You ever
into
been
the
to
chat.
Huntington Beach? You ever been to Huntington Beach?
No.
All right, continue, Rob.
All right. Let's talk Doppelgangland. I know
We should never do a show with each other ever again. Just put that.
it gets tough. It gets tough after a while because we have to remember to keep doing the show.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have the opening here. We get to see Anya's back, which is nice. We get to see Tahofrin for the first time.
Wait,
Lovely.
Anya, was she the one? Was she the mouse?
No,
No.
Anya was the one that granted the wishes to grant the wish to Cordelia that
Ah, yes,
turned
yes, yes.
everybody to Vampire Town.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I
So
know our organizer.
that's how it kind of comes together
Yes.
here. With that, yeah. Anyways, she's gonna have a plan to get her powers back now,
Hmm.
Ferris. So this is probably gonna work out just fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we get to see. Well, first, maybe we should talk about this. What did you think of this episode? What's your
I
honest
like.
thoughts on the
I
episode?
liked it. I liked it.
I think the episode is fine. Do you think this episode makes any sense where it's put in the season right now?
No, I think this is prime example of a filler. Definitely
This
filler.
this was something I think even maybe a little different than filler. I think this is something where I know that Allison Hannigan really liked playing Vampire Willow, and,
Ah.
that, and I think that the showrunner really liked that episode. So somehow they decided to shoehorn, like, and you have this great narrative flow throughout the rest of season 3, and
Hmm.
then there's this episode, which is it's like a fun episode. I wouldn't say it's like a great episode by any means.
No. No.
There's of course a couple of things in here which make zero sense to me at all,
Hmm.
such as why is Faith just back all of a sudden, not addressed? No, they're just
Yeah,
fine with.
and it's not even that she's back, Rob. She's training with them and she's doing their
Yeah,
obstacle courses. And then there's one scene of her saying, "All right, bye guys," and then she's hanging out with the mayor.
yeah.
Like,
Like,
is Wesley not keeping track of her whereabouts?
well, she had escaped Wesley. She had beaten up those other guys, and the last time we saw her and got out of that truck, and that's when she goes to see the mayor. All of a sudden, she's just back with the Scooby's no problem, training again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes no sense because it just made no sense because she's training with Wesley. She's
yeah.
training with him.
Well, yeah.
And then and
This
yeah,
like that whole thing never had to be. In fact, they could have just put this in the next episode. The
yeah,
next episode grows the whole Mayor and Faith thing quite a bit more.
yeah.
So, and if you put it in enemies, it makes more sense. This is just kind of like, like narratively, does it even make sense? But
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't because like this is when people cry about like, oh, I hated those 20 episode seasons because they would always had a filler episode. They could use this example of why they hate them because this filler episode made no sense. It narratively made no sense. And there's really no connection. It's kind of dropped in the middle. I see the greatest example of filler that it's filler but it works is Avatar: The Last Airbender. They do filler very well. They do
mhm,
filler like amazing. It's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. I'm not like
sure,
animated or live action. And the filler episodes, they're filler.
I think they're called bottle episodes. I think the proper name is bottle episode.
Bottle, is it called
Yeah,
Bottle? I don't know.
yeah,
Right.
something that's kind of self-contained within a season.
Okay, yeah.
There's
So
nothing to
Bottle
push a
episodes,
narrative forward.
yeah. They do it. Avatar: The Last does it tremendously, like
Yeah.
amazingly. They do it. This is the example of like, it kind of made no sense. If you really think about it, it made no sense. And Anya just shows up. Like,
Well,
why is she back?
there's a reason. Like the Anya thing isn't the big deal.
Okay.
For me, they had. I think for me, Anya is there because they know that Charisma Carpenter is going to be going to Angel.
Yeah.
They needed to bring in that same kind of character that Cordelia is, and they have it organically,
Anya?
and not. You'll see, it's eventually going to work. This episode with Anya when they're still trying to find out who she is as a mortal. Not great. And again, this episode was kind of rushed. This
Mm-hmm.
one isn't like planned out around. This is like, oh, we like this. Let's do it again real fast. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically what this episode is. So Anya's going to work. Like as a character, I think Anya's fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just like in that first episode, Wish, even that's really good. Just
It was right.
this one is yeah, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
listen.
this episode never really needed to happen. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
um, one thing we do get to see is Willow starting to progress with her magical powers a bit and stuff
Yeah.
like that. She talks about how she could float a pencil before, and now you can see it twirling.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets a little upset when people are talking about faith. So another reason why it doesn't make any sense to have faith in this thing, because you see the pencil spinning out of control just at the mention of faith for
Mm-hmm.
Willow and stuff like that. Anyways, the scene actually with Faith and the mirror is good. I really like it. It's starting to show that relationship between them. That first kind of awkwardness where she's calling him her sugar daddy and stuff like that, and he nips that right in the bud.
Yeah.
No. That's not going to be it. But she gets a PlayStation out of this, Ferris. She gets that
Yeah.
nice place and a PlayStation. She can play some. What is that? What was the name of that jumping guy?
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Isn't that a big
Yeah.
PlayStation guy?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had a PlayStation. Like I played, but it was like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7, I think, was back in the
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah.
Anyways, Willow's becoming more and more self-conscious about herself. She thinks that maybe people are taking advantage of her, which
Mm-hmm.
again doesn't really make sense because in what was it, the last episode,
Yeah.
Buffy saying, we want you to hang back and stuff like that. We don't want you to do all this stuff. So if anything, they're not taking advantage of her enough, considering what she could do in
Yeah.
the previous episodes. But now she's like, oh, everybody, just get
I
Willow
don't
to
think
do
she meant
whatever.
by taking advantage. I meant like more like they probably think she's dainty or
I don't know.
you know no because like in because when the principal says I need you to basically do homeboy's homework, he's
Again, for
push
the second year in a row, this has happened
yeah,
because of having to go fish as well.
exactly. And it's kind of like what is it, like basically like they're like, oh, we can take advantage of her,
Yeah.
kind of being taken advantage. It's not that they don't use her. It's that like they don't think she doesn't think, like they think like, yeah, she's the weakest link, basically. They basically think she's the weakest link.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that. Well,
No,
I
they
don't know how
think,
she could think that. Like,
they
like
think.
Xander's right there.
No,
Xander's
I
right.
agree, Rob. I agree. But the way this episode is, we agree this episode kind of makes no sense.
No,
But
no.
the way the episode is portraying Willow, it's not that she's, overused. It's like, you're safe and you're dainty and you're kind of an egg, so we need to protect you. So that's why we don't want you to do this and that, which makes no sense because because we have Xander there. He
Yep.
literally exists.
Yep.
That's why this episode doesn't really make sense, because I'm like, she's the magical one of the group, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's what the through line narrative of this episode was.
So we're gonna get into a couple of these. First, we talk about Xander, and of course he's there asking for help with his homework and stuff like that. And this another thing for Willow where she thinks,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm just here for everybody's do this, do that, and stuff like that. And there's Percy, there's Xander now, so she
Mm-hmm.
wants to go walk off in a huff because she's seen Oz do that a couple of times by this point.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting close, those two, by
Yeah.
now. Getting a little closer. And then we got Anya come up to her in the hallway.
Yeah.
She wants something from her now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's never even met Willow before. And of course, she introduces herself as Cordelia's friend, which isn't going to help. That's not
No.
going to help. But she wants something magical. out of Willow, so everything's okay after that. It's
Yeah.
piqued her interest, and so they try and do a little spell so that Anya can get her pendant back, which is important to her,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't ever say why at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Uh, a little magic. Willow starts getting freaked out a little bit. There's some weird sand poured. Willow seeing things that
Mm-hmm.
she probably shouldn't, that we've all seen before.
Exactly.
Just a few episodes ago.
Those
Any,
hallucinations.
anyways, her evil Willow disappears from where she's just about getting that piece of lattice pushed through her.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up back in the factory, but in our Sunnydale.
Mm-hmm.
A little freaked out.
That
And
bit.
then, yeah, she goes and walks around for a little while, just like Cordy did when she was sent to that land.
Mm-hmm.
They're echoing. Is that what the term is? They're
Yeah.
echoing around.
Mirroring.
Yeah. So she ends up going to the Bronze once again. We got some band up there singing the slowest song you've ever heard played live. I've never understood it. Every time they go to the Bronze, someone's singing some slow ass song that makes you just want to fall asleep. And I found out the name of the band.
What
It's
up?
Kay's Choice. Like, how terrible is that? Kay's Choice. The song, Virgin State of Mind, Ferris. A virgin state of mind.
See, this is why rock music plummeted.
Yeah, I don't know if you can even consider it rock music. It's
Um,
it's different. It's different. It's, I think, a little different than it's almost like the beginning of like that shoegaze thing. And we're just kind of
mhm.
looking down at the time because they're trying to
I
keep it
miss
with
I
like,
miss rock music.
oh sure, everybody does. Oasis is
Mm,
coming back, but I know you're not a big fan of it.
no.
Anyways, she gets to see Percy. Percy's at the bar. We got Ferris in two conversations at once, which is always fun. He's back on.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah,
Someone
that's
knocked on
fine.
the door.
That's fine. I just like to watch your head spin around here for a couple
Yeah.
minutes. Anyways, yeah. So Percy says, "Oh, you were supposed to do my homework, and your ass is mine until graduation day," which isn't a cool thing to say. But unfortunately for him, this is Vampire Willow, so she throws him lengthwise over the pool table,
Yes.
which is
Which could have hurt his shooting wrist.
yeah.
Like
No, he protected himself. He made sure he went back first.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man shoots 50% from the three.
yeah.
Gotta protect that kid.
Vampire Willow says she's bored now. Bored now is something you're going to hear from Willow
Yeah.
in the future. Uh, anyways, another grab by the throat thing because it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If one person isn't grabbed by the throat every single episode, the episode doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Anyways, Xander shows up to be her savior, even though she has the guy up, probably off the ground by the throat this
Hmm.
time, pushes him away and stuff like that. Then she gets a little gropey. She gets a little gropey with Xander here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Xander reminds her about unfamiliar touchings and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Buffy shows up. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she says like, "I know you. I don't like you," which is
Yeah.
pretty. You don't even really know her. Sure, she's a vampire slayer and you're a vampire.
Hmm.
But come on, like, how well do you even know her to say that you don't like her? Terrible. Anyways, she turns to leave. Buffy grabs her. Willow has that vampire face
Yeah.
and growl. And these guys, oh boy,
They assume this was a great twist. I love this. The way they
yeah.
the way they played the way they played them two with Giles when they find out because they assume.
The one thing I'm gonna say about that is
Yeah.
you would imagine those are the two of them share Willow as a best friend.
Hmm.
How upset did they seem to you? They seemed down, but they didn't seem like devastated that Willow is now dead and a vampire.
Well, I think it's also the situation where it's like this is the way this world works.
I guess you're
It
right.
was
And
it was gonna happen to one of us eventually.
we're
You
not in their
know.
shoes. We're not in their shoes, Ferris.
Yeah, yeah. So
For
like,
goodness sakes.
because they've seen so many vampires, they've seen so many people be churned into vampires they have to kill. So they're probably like,
It
she
won't
had
be
to
the
kill she had to
won't be
kill
the
Angel.
first friend. Won't be the first friend they've had to kill. Might
Yeah,
not be the last. Might not be the last.
yeah, she had to kill Angel.
Yep.
You know,
Xander had to kill his best friend in the second episode. So there you
yeah,
go.
literally.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy, wherever he is.
In hell. He's in hell,
Yeah,
Ferris.
exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Come on.
also too, Daniel's like, they also saw her like an hour ago. So like, yeah, so it's like they're like, wait, like just like that, gone. Because they told her to go away an hour ago. Like, go away.
Yeah.
They
Beat it.
told her to go. Yeah, exactly. And she did. And then now they're probably like, oh my God, this is our fault. But
Yeah.
but we
They're to
gotta,
blame for this. They're to blame
yeah,
for
but
this.
but we gotta do the job.
So first, I should say that before they even make it back to the library, Dark Willow's already around. I don't want to even say Dark Willow, Evil Willow, Vampire Willow,
Yes.
has
Evil
rounded
Willow.
up a couple of cronies, beat up a couple guys. Now they work for her. She had to break their fingers, which is gross.
Well, she broke
Anyway,
one of their fingers. The other guy just like stood
like
there and watched it.
three of them. Excuse me a sec, guys. This is terrible. I gotta go for 1 second, but I'll be right back. Ferris, tell them about the show.
Yes, I'll tell you about you. I got you, Rob. Yes. So she breaks the crony's fingers, and then we pan back to the library, and you know they're talking to, they're walking in all sad and sultry, and then they're talking to Giles, and then Giles is like, "What happened? What happened?" And they're like, "Willow, she's dead," and she's dead. And then they all just like sit there reminiscing about Willow, and they're just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we let this happen. Oh my God, oh my God." And then guess who walks in the door of the library? A live Willow. A live Willow walks in, and she's just, "Well, why is everybody so glum, chums?" And they're like, "Wait, what?" And they're very confused, just thoroughly confused about what's going on. And I find it hilarious because they're like, "Time out. What's going on here? I don't know." So there's that. Robert's back.
Yeah. Uh, sorry, what were you going on about?
We're on the when non-evil Willow walks in the library wearing her dress. Very, very,
Yeah,
or like that pink thing, whatever.
yeah.
Very juxtaposition.
I've on my notes. I just put Fuzzy Willow.
Yeah,
Yeah, FW for Fuzzy Willow.
yeah,
Anyways, everyone's so happy. The best part of that entire scene is Giles going up to hug her afterwards,
yeah.
and then him being all English about it in a second and stammering like he always does. So now we go back to the bronze. They've decided, well, these vampires are going to take over the bronze. It always
Mm-hmm.
happens, at
It's always the
least
bronze.
always once a year.
Where's the security? Where's the security dog?
How do you get security there? How do you get security there? Doesn't make any sense. Plus,
I think security firms don't want to because they're like, people
yeah,
people die at your
yeah,
club often.
the death rate for a bouncer at the bronze probably 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not worth it after a while. One thing I thought was fun. Anya goes up to get a beer. She's had a heart
Hmm.
attack. Uh, Anya becomes the first and, by my knowledge, the only person to ever get carded at the bronze.
Yeah. And she's the oldest.
1121 years old.
Mhm.
She's the only person ever to get carded there because it seems like everybody's drunk there every single night. Anyways, so they go to
Daniel. Ferris, can I offer you a job at a club that gets attacked every 3 days? You're right. You're right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No.
it's a difficult thing. Like those,
Yeah.
there's a reason they have to serve kids. It's
Yeah.
because the adult population is just it's filtering out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not great. So Evil Willow grabs a student there named Sandy. and she's played by a lady named Megan Gray, who's on like Dawson's Creek and the Drew Carey Show, but just like in an episode each. She
Mm-hmm.
tells everyone what's going to happen if they're good and what's going to happen if they're bad. Here, Ferris, and then she drains the life out of her in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Thing is,
But Angel,
yeah,
Angel's there with what's his face?
Oz.
Yes. Oz.
Oz has to convince her or convince him to go get help, which I
Yeah.
thought was like, it's like I think I'm needed here more. It's like no, get out of here. Like there's gonna be some you
Well,
know
it's after she kills her.
yeah. Like there's gonna be some people dead, but probably by the time you get back. But you're gonna need Buffy for this one, anyways.
Yeah.
That's when evil Willow sees Oz, and she knows him as one of the White Hats from the Wish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just wanted to get back to that girl Sandy, because Sandy's gonna come back. Sandy, this isn't the last time you see her,
Mm-hmm.
but she never drinks any blood. Isn't that the whole thing?
She's probably scared.
What?
You know?
She just gets some later or whatever. So she's like basically dead, but
No,
vampire.
because it's like she just died. She's a vampire. She's going through an identity crisis, and she doesn't want to bite nobody. She's scared.
Oh my gosh. So, uh, 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 Willow sees, or Vampire Willow sees Oz. She wonders why she thinks that they're friends. This is when Anya steps up, says, he doesn't know you from this world, and blah, 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 blah. Then also lets her know that they have a mutual interest in sending Vampire Willow back to her world. Now, seconds after Angel leaves, of course, because it's Sunnydale, he's at the library. Within seconds, there's a talk of a dominatrix for some reason for Willow and stuff like that.
Well, she's wearing all leather and all that jazz, and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then she talks about how her and what's his face probably played House of Pain or Mr. Pain or Mistress Pain or whatever something. And
now
then
I got that song. I got that song from the night. Call me Mister. What's it? Call me insane. I'm Mr. Wrong. Was it Mr. Wrong? Is that the name of the song? Anyways,
well, when I say House of Pain, I think of Jump Around.
well, I know, but I was thinking that other song. The '90s or something else. Anyways, so Angel gets back to the library. He's like, "I have terrible news for you. Willow's dead." One thing I didn't get: why is Angel out of breath?
Yeah, I don't know because
Same.
he doesn't have breath.
He has zero breath to lose.
I think David Boreanaz probably ran, and they probably kept that cut in.
It's like we got only so much time to make this episode, guys. This
Yeah,
is never
yeah,
supposed to be
basically,
here. This
basically.
wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe he was trying to hold back tears. Ferris, did you ever think of that?
yeah, because he's like, we lost Willow.
Maybe he's doing that.
Mhm.
You don't know.
You're right.
It's never mentioned, but we got to make up some kind of excuse why a vampire would be out of breath. Anyways, he sees Willow. He does the high Willow thing. So fun, of course. You know what I mean. Anyways, they said, "Well, we're gonna go back to the Bronze." Willow says, "Hey, you know what? Oh, I have the perfect idea for something. You guys go ahead." She just goes to the library, and of course, traveled by a map. Evil vampire Willow's there as well, and grabs her. Oh boy! And it turns out she's also a bit of a rat, because she tells Fuzzy Willow. This is Vampire Willow tells Fuzzy Willow that Anya 100% just ratted her out, which isn't cool. You know
Not
what I
cool.
mean? Just so she can send her back. Then she starts thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if they were a duo? You know,
Mm-hmm.
the
Big fan of Devos.
the Wonder Twins, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's getting a little close. She's getting a little close to her doppelganger here, Ferris. Starts good Willow was concerned about all the snuggling she'd have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then evil Willow is licking fuzzy Willow's neck here and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be worried about one of them going blind if they keep doing this kind of thing.
It's too
Ferris?
much licking. Yes, too much licking. Why are you always
Okay,
licking?
okay. Anyways, Fuzzy Willow tells her she's starting to freak her out now. Tries to crucifix her away and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but gets thrown over the counter. But good news is she lands in a perfect spot to
Where the gun is?
grab the tranquilizer gun, of course, and then shoots her. But here's another thing: how is this going to work? She has no respiratory system, therefore she would have no pulmonary arteries or whatever carrying blood throughout her body. I wouldn't think. How
Yeah.
does she just pass out from getting hit with a tranquilizer? And also, she's dead. But luckily for Willow, she found the perfect spot to hit a vampire with a tranq gun. Unfortunately, she gets called a bitch on her way down.
Yep.
You
You
know,
always got to get the one-liner in, dog.
yeah.
Yes. So I got a question. Like
Sure.
the trank gun, yeah, like you said, Rob. If I shoot a vampire in this world with a gun,
Yeah.
they're
Doesn't
not
work.
dead.
No, doesn't work.
So how does a trank gun work?
I believe I literally just mentioned that.
Yeah, I know. It's just hilarious because that's why I got to
Makes no
remind us.
sense.
Like it's pretty funny.
It makes no sense.
Hmm.
Anyways, that's what I'm saying. This one was kind of, and we've also talked about on this show. So they play fast and loose with the rules,
Yes.
and sometimes you just shrug and say, "Ah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer's on. Who cares?" So,
Hmm.
and also for some reason, even though the gang was all raring to go out to the bronze, they have turned right around,
Hmm.
and now they're back at the library with them. So, uh, Willow fills them in on what's going on with the Vampire Willow.
Hmm.
She starts talking about how Vampire Willow is evil and skanky, and that now she also thinks she's kind of gay, which is, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe a little prophetic. Buffy tries to say that a vampire's personality has nothing to do with the person they were in life. Angel's the one that says, "Well, I don't know about that," but gets a glare from Buffy, so you know, kind of shies away from that.
Hmm.
But yeah, a little bit of prophecy maybe here in Doppelgangland. So they have a plan. Well, in fact, Willow has a bad plan, but it's a plan. Willow's going to dress up like Vampire Willow, head back to the Bronze, save everybody like that. Giles, they get there. Giles is trying to tell her to defuse a situation, and
Hmm.
just try to get some of these guys to come outside. Some like this is probably like my favorite part in the whole thing is when Willow goes in as Vampire Willow and it's like says, "I think I heard a noise outside. Why don't you go check it out?"
Check that out.
To a couple of people, just so politely and stuff like that. Also,
Yeah.
when she goes in and says mean things and then turns to Oz and gives him that little wave and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So good. So Oz knows exactly who it is. So
And
yeah,
those two people just die because
yeah.
like Buffy's
They,
like waiting outside the door.
yeah, Angel grabs one.
Yeah.
Buffy's like, "Oh, you gonna get it?" Anyways, boom. So she starts telling Anya is starting to get the gist of what's
It's like
going on now.
this is not the Willow I
Yeah,
summoned.
yeah. She's Goodwill is starting to say that maybe should have her minions go outside and kill her horribly just for
Hmm.
questioning her and stuff like that. And then she lets you know she starts letting us know how she feels about herself, that she's
Hmm.
weak and accommodating, and that she lets people walk all over her and stuff like that, which maybe is true. I don't know about her friends and stuff like that, except for maybe Xander.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Definitely
her
is.
yeah, her crew is starting to
What
get
a
a little.
horrible person.
Oh my god, uh, they're starting to get a little bloodthirsty now. Her crew, like they're ready. They're ready for dinner. They said the fun's going to be in the eating here, Ferris. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So quickly, we get to see uh, Vampire Willow wake up in Fuzzy Willow's clothes. For some reason, Cordy's there. In the middle of the night.
Hmm.
I get looking for what.
Why is the school library still open at
So
7 at night?
everybody can get into this school at any time. except
Yeah.
for the very first episode, where Darla and that poor kid had to bust a window to get in. That's the only time
Hmm.
that school's been locked.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cordy's wearing an evening gown for
Yeah.
some
Where is she
reason.
going?
Yeah, there's only two places to go:
Yeah.
school and the Bronze. It seems. So Evil Wilson, you should. Yeah, I screwed up. I got locked in here. You should let me out.
Yeah.
And
I like books.
Cordelia's about to do it,
Hmm.
but she has a Willow trap now, and she
So
has
she's gonna
to
ask her some questions.
gotta listen to her.
Hmm.
Back at the Bronze, Fuzzy Willow's trying to talk her way out of a bloodbath.
Hmm.
And her top underling is, she's played by Michael Nagy. He's one of those guys.
Daniel may be right. Daniel may be right. Cardi's probably looking for Wesley, ain't she?
Yeah, I
Probably.
said, yeah, I said she's looking for Wesley and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
But
That's why she's wearing the evening gown because he's always wearing a suit.
on a Sunnydale, what is it? School night, Sunnydale school night, of
Yeah.
course. But anyways, Willow, they said, no, no, no. It's time for chowing down here at the Bronze.
Hmm.
Willow wants to give everybody a 30-second head start, and that's when Anya finally figures it out. It's like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
This is regular Fuzzy Willow. So Willow suggests starting the killing with her, which is one of my favorite things.
Kill her.
Yep. Anyways, back at the library, Cordy's getting or boring for Vampire Willow.
Yep.
She's talking about how she stole her boyfriend. Willow
Hmm.
promises that, or Evil Willow promises that she'll never do it again. Cordy laughs at that and says, "Like you ever could," but she's still going to let her out, Ferris, because she's a humanitarian,
Yes.
which is
Wonderful person, that Cordelia Chase.
that's what we think of when we think of Cordy.
Hmm.
So she eventually lets her out, and of course now the chase is on. Chases her around, eventually to a. For some reason, Wesley's back now too. Here's some screaming. Uh,
Hmm.
they're in a classroom, one of those classic classrooms that has two exits on either side to go to either hallway.
Hmm.
Somehow, I don't know how that works. So, anyways, they go in there. They get to the women's washroom, I suppose.
Why is he already there?
This is my exact question. How
Thank
does
you.
how does he pop out from the side? I know you had to get him there, but how did he pop out from the side?
He literally, she did this literally face to face, and then he just jumps like,
Yeah.
ha!
Ah, whoop.
Shake it in the face.
Oh my god. Yeah. Somehow his crucifix is also a little more potent, but that holy water, just the sight of the holy water,
Yeah, he
is
didn't
enough.
even open it. He just shook it in her face. He's like, shake,
Yeah.
shake,
Evil Will
shake, shake,
just
shake that
whatever.
glue thing. Just whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Cordy then hugs him for saving her life. Wesley probably could use a cool shower after that. He's
Mhm.
got that English stammer down that it seems
Oh,
all watchers have.
quite all right. Quite all right.
Yeah. Then he finally realizes that was Willow. Cordy confirms, "Oh yeah, that was Willow,"
Yeah.
and then asks him on a date. Asks him on a date first.
Again, she's
Cordy's
not
asking Cordy's asking guys out on dates now. This is not Cordelia Chase.
exactly. And
Ridiculous.
and she's a minor. All right.
Well,
So
we'll talk about that in a couple episodes. So,
yeah.
uh, we got Mortal Anya. Anya isn't a demon anymore, but she's
No.
still able to go over there and start bossing these vampires around somehow. Willow starts defending herself. No, 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 no! I'm a vampire. Check out the outfit. You know,
Yeah.
that's exactly what a vampire would wear. And,
Absolutely.
and then she gives the signal to Buffy saying, "Would a human be able to do this?" And starts screaming. And Anya and the henchman
But
guy are
no,
like, "Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, of
Of
course they
course.
could do that." Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? This is exactly what they do. But then Buffy and Angel come in, start fighting bad guys. I think in this fight, Angel whips a little ass.
Yes, he
I
does.
I enjoy when he grabs that pool with the cue ball and whips in that guy's face. Like, come on, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Also, and good on Willow, punches Anya in the face.
Nice.
She really enjoyed that too. By the
Yeah,
way,
she did.
we get
Yeah,
to
she
see
did.
Devin from the Dingoes trying to escape by climbing up a rope.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work too well because here comes evil Willow up on stage. She grabs him. She grabs Oz and throws him into Devin. So Devin had obviously slid down the rope. I guess at this point, you don't see.
Yeah, he was never getting up. He's not athletic. He was never getting up that rope. He gave up halfway through.
Yeah, and then punches down good Willow. Now she's on top.
She's just choking her out.
It's classic Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Everyone has their hands around each other. But here comes Buffy. She throws one guy through the glass container, grabs a pool cue, stakes a guy with it, then
Mm-hmm.
cracks another guy over the head with the pool cue and with the broken end. This is going to be the end of Vampire Willow. But good Willow asks her not to do it.
No, not to do it. No.
Like, come on. Please don't do that. So Buffy, talking about her good reflexes, stops herself from doing it. Much better reflexes than Faith, as
Absolutely.
as things would turn out. So they decided, well, we're going to go back to the factory. We're going to send Evil Willow back. Evil Willow is pretty chilled out by now.
Yeah.
She's not attacking anybody at all. They're just waiting for things to happen. Xander asks her if he has, or starts talking to her about him having a cool vampire Xander around like that, and she
I'm
just
bad. I'm bad.
gets the eye roll. There's a couple eye rolls in this one. So they're going to send her back to her world. Anya vows when she gets her powers back that everyone's going to grovel before her. And we get two eye rolls from two separate Willows at the same time. The two of them say goodbye. Of course, Vampire Willow gives one last grope in on herself, by the way,
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, that's the question. You know, we must ask yourself, what would you do to yourself if you saw yourself again?
is
You
that
know?
what you do? You grope
No,
yourself? All
absolutely
right.
not.
Now we know what Ferris would do. All right.
No, no,
So
that's not what I meant.
we get to see the ritual. The ritual starts working. Here's Willow. Evil Willow is back in her world. Luckily for her, except unfortunately at the exact same moment when
Where she dies.
Oz pushes her into that piece of laswork and she explodes into dust.
Yeah.
Now, I thought, like in the original one, I thought it was Oz and Larry. In fact, I'm pretty sure, but this one or whatever, it's like they just show Oz with
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know.
the bleached hair,
Yeah. Continuity, whatever.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, they're playing fast and loose with it anyway. So we see Buffy and Willow talk after school. Willow is talking about how all these events even wants her to makes her want to be more virtuous. She knows where the path of vice leads, Ferris,
Mm-hmm.
and that how her evil self messed everything up. Now, the path of vice is something we'll also follow as Willow later on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two little prophetic things about Willow in this throwaway episode, probably that could have not happened really if they didn't want to. But anyways, to get a couple good things out of Willow with this at any rate. Anyways, she says she never wants to be like that. And then we have Percy show up with he's done not only the homework he was assigned, but another thing of homework because he wasn't sure which Roosevelt
He did two papers on both Roosevelts.
Yeah, and then gives Willow an apple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is the first apple she got either because she was
No.
teaching that other thing. And Snyder talking about before about how she has to give back. That asshole made her teach a class for how many months after Jenny Collender died? Probably didn't get paid either.
No.
Ridiculous.
Just,
I brought it up before. How does the union let this happen?
Exactly. How does their union must suck?
Yeah, it sucks. Anyways, Willow's decided. Well, now I can go out. She's a badass now again in her own way. So there you go. That's the end of the episode. Next time, Ferris, it's almost Oscar season here. I think we're in
Yes.
the swing of Oscar season.
Yeah,
It's
we
coming
are.
right up. We got two people vying for Best Actor in the next episode. Also,
What?
well, Best Actor within their world. Angelus is also back.
Oh,
We'll leave that with you. Enemies is the next episode. Ferris, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
thank you, Rob.
We got this large Let's Get Ready network here. Would you
Hmm.
tell everybody
Networks. Oh,
where can be
snap.
found on it?
I knew I forgot. Shoot, I forgot something. Damn it.
Oh,
You can find me guys on the Let's Get Ready networks on our sports channel tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Me and Caleb are going to talk the NFL, the Giants QB carousel, and the first day draft of the NFL Combine.
Matt
First day
Stafford.
thoughts.
Is Matt Stafford going to the Giants?
I don't know. But day one thoughts on the Combine. Today was the defensive linemen and the linebackers. Something the New York Giants need and something the Cowboys need as well. But also, you know, just find me on the channels. I may pop up on the post credits for our Daredevil rewatch series. Daredevil's coming out, Born Again, March 4th. So keep your eye on that. So
Nice.
there it is.
Thanks, dude. So, Adelia and I are going to be doing Starting 11 tomorrow night, a special Friday edition, just because of the stupid two match weeks. So we'll be talking about things that happen for, say, Chelsea, things for, say, Arsenal, even things that may have happened with Liverpool. Actually, we're going to talk about every team at that on that episode, so don't worry about it. If you have a Premier League team, we'll be talking about it on Starting 11, a special Friday night episode coming live, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. No After Snark episode this weekend. So, guys, next time, please join us for Enemies here on the Rewatchers Council. Let's see how much Ferris is paying attention as I wrap up the show.
I was
And
picking my Premier League picks this week. I
oh,
apologize.
smart. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you all again next time. He still hasn't hit the button.
Oh, my bad.
I